Approach the Nerd. It's your girl, Maria Park. I know I have a different background right now. Something's going on with my internet. So I am doing this stream from inside of my voiceover booth, where I make all of the voiceover magic happen in my life. So yeah, today we are here to talk about She-Hulk episodes 3 and 4, the highlights, the lowlights, whatever. Um, a little housekeeping. If you hear a fan here, guys, it's because inside this booth it's probably like 100 degrees. So hopefully it's not bothering you, but let me know in the comments if you hear it. If it's really, too much for you, let me know. Not sure what I can do about it, but I will do my best. All right. So let's jump into episode 3. So episode 3 pretty much takes up from episode 2, where Jen is trying to get Blonsky released, or as we know him as Abomination. He basically had the alibi of he did not break himself out of prison, which if you watch Shang-Chi and the Seven Rings, that's actually true, because he was, seen fighting in the club in Macau, and basically the reason he was there in the first place is because apparently Wong wanted to take him and use him to see how more powerful he was, as basically Sorcerer Supreme, or I guess he was about to become the Sorcerer Supreme. The timeline is kind of weird because they mentioned that he is now the Sorcerer Supreme, so I'm assuming this is post Spider-Man, but I'm just kind of throwing it out there. MCU is always all over the place, especially with the multiverse involved. So, yeah, but just for I guess continuity's sake, we'll say this is right now. She-Hulk takes place post Spider-Man. All right, so she's trying everything to try and get him off, and so she tells Wong, because Wong basically says, "Hey, yeah, I did take him. I forced him to come with me." So she wants him to testify, but he has to show up to court. So he's like literally, I think it was like maybe 20 minutes late. I don't know. But they have the trial, we have these judges that are sitting here. Basically, all of them look terrified of Abomination. It's like they're waiting for him to break out of this containment, area. And she's like, "Okay, so I have this witness that's coming," and she's trying to play it off. She's like trying to, play for time, and she like starts having all these random people be interviewed, which is like really hilarious. All the people that Blonsky apparently was therapist to and like model, prisoner to in prison. All of his potential new wives or fiancés, which is absolutely insane, are all there in like these long flowing white dresses looking like a cult. Um, it's just crazy. And he basically Wong does show up, and it is absolutely hilarious. He does come. He does tell the people that he broke him out of jail, basically, and they're like, the judges are like, "You realize that that's a crime?" And Wong's like, "I'm out." He's like, "Bye." But they still are kind of like in their feelings. They're like, what's going to stop Abomination from, being Abomination? And so Blonsky transforms an Abomination to let them know, "Hey, I can control this. This is basically not an issue for me." But, it kind of freaks them out even more. So they take a recess, and they're going to come back, and they're going to revisit it. And so Jen, like, also has this coworker. His name is like Pug, I believe it was, or is, yeah, Pug. And so he's taken on a case from this old coworker that we saw in the pilot. He's kind of the condescending ass that she was having problems with. His name is Dennis. And so he basically, there is a light elf named Runa who is a shapeshifter. And for some reason, I don't know why, he thought that she was Meg the Stallion. And that he was dating Meg the Stallion. And this entire time, it was actually really the light elf. And so he was taking her to court because he like spent thousands of dollars on her. And, Pug's like, "Okay, I don't know what to do, because like, it's really hard to prove this." So they're in court, and he's trying to make the case, and he's not doing so well, even though Runa even impersonates a judge, which I thought was absolutely hilarious, to try and dismiss the case when they're on recess. But Pug's not doing so well. But then he talks to Jen and Ginger, the assistant, the bestie. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, he's completely a condescending ass." So they get Jen on the stand, and they're like, "Hey, swear under oath. Do you think that this person is stupid enough and entitled enough and narcissistic enough to believe that Meg the Stallion would date him?" And she's like, "Absolutely. He's delusional." And that's what wins them the case. And so she gets the idea basically from that. She's to basically have like this device fitted for Blonsky, so he can no longer like turn into Abomination, which, you know, it works. The judges say, okay, that's great. And so they release him. And so now Abomination is out in the world, you know, with his, at this point, how many fiancés that he met through a pen pal program. But I mean, fingers crossed, you know, that this sticks. He does seem to have changed. We did see in episode 2 that, you know, Professor Hulk feels that he's changed. So, I mean, to be fair, though, it was Edward Norton's Hulk that he attacked. It wasn't, you know, not this version, but it is a whole other conversation. Something else that happened is 2 things. People start hounding Jen to give like interviews. And so, you know, especially about her being She-Hulk. And they basically coined her She-Hulk. Now, this is something we've seen in every superhero genre. It's always a reporter, like, or somebody or radio host. Somebody always says, "Oh, I'm going to name the superhero," and for some reason, it always sticks. Like, we've never had an instant where, like, technically, unless you're talking about the CW, I guess the Arrowverse and the Flash, when they were calling him the Streak, I believe, and he's like, "What about the Flash?" And so he kind of named himself through Iris. But like every other like iteration I can think of with superheroes, normally somebody else, like a reporter or somebody else, names them and they're just kind of stuck with that name. So this is what this is. She became She-Hulk, which she's like, what? I love how she breaks the fourth wall all of the time. Like all of the time. I mean, she just does. It's just something that she's good at. This carries on in episode 4, which we'll talk to you about in a minute. At the end of episode 3, though, she is attacked. And these guys basically had Asgardian weapons. And she's like, "Oh, did you steal them from like a construction worker, an Asgardian construction worker?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she basically puts a smackdown on them. But I believe they're trying to get her blood. And now I'm not sure if they were sent by her boss or whatever baddie we're dealing with in the series. I'm purposely not looking at spoilers because I don't want to know. I want to be surprised. But somebody put a quote unquote hit on She-Hulk to try, I believe, get her blood. And they failed. So there's that. And so it kind of leads into episode 4. So episode 4, she breaks the fourth wall again, which I love. Again, I love when she breaks the fourth wall. And she makes this comment that is absolutely probably true, but absolutely necessary. Because if you guys don't know, I'm sure you do, She-Hulk is getting like a lot of nerd rage because they're like, I guess they never read her comic book, so they don't realize that there was a She-Hulk. I mean, there's nothing that they're doing that they didn't do in the comics. And it's like, what would you give Hulk's power to her? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, are we watching the same show? Like, even when the Hulk and She-Hulk were sparring, I mean, he could have smacked her down instantly if he really wanted to. She's extremely strong and agile and smart, but she does not have the full strength of Hulk. And people are just like in their feelings, and it's so ridiculous to me. And I love that Jennifer, she will break the fourth wall knowing that people are going to be talking about it. Like they literally filmed this knowing that Twitter was going to blow up and cause some shit. And I love that her line was, "Oh, this week we got Wong again. Yay." Basically gives everyone Twitter armor for the week. And I'm like, that is crazy. It's sad that you have to say that on your own damn show. But I thought that was pretty funny. Also, for me, I really, really enjoyed this episode because it deals with a lot of things. Like, it deals with her coming to terms with being She-Hulk. It also kind of introduces us to a new character, as well as shows us what a dick some guys are when you make them on a date. So we'll just kind of jump into it. So basically, Wong is back. This time he is the plaintiff. There's this show, I think it's called Is This Not Real Magic? I think that's what they're going with. And so basically our boy is in his feelings because he's a sorcerer supreme. And he's like, why the hell am I having to deal with this when obviously that is not real magic? It's just stupid. And so he wants to go to court. And we'll jump into that side story in a second because, quite frankly, it was hilarious, especially Madison. I think it was Synne as her character. But first, I want to just get the subplot out of the way. It's not really a subplot. It's just ridiculous. But so Ginger is trying to get Jennifer to put herself out there. And so she's like on this dating app, which is kind of like their version of Tinder, but she's not getting any hits at all. And then she puts her profile up as She-Hulk. And when she puts her profile up as She-Hulk, then all kinds of people keep coming out of the woodwork. It is absolutely hilarious. Like, the people that she's getting to ask her out are ridiculous. They're just effing ridiculous. Like, yeah, like you have narcissists, you have like there's this one guy. I felt like he wanted to arm wrestle her. It was just really weird. The whole thing was weird. But she does end up like hooking up with like this one guy who seemed to be very sensitive and supportive, just really cool, right? Except he was not. He slept with her, or basically she kind of carried him to bed. It was very interesting. Before that though, there's a big thing where our kind of plaintiff of the week, which is Danny Blaze. That's who Wong is mad at, causes like a portal to open and demons to come through. And so in the middle of her date, she has to go, like she's not answering her phone. So Wong makes a portal to her house or apartment and tells, hey, I need your help. And so she has to go and fight these demons things with him. But so long story short, though, with this guy, she ends up carrying him to bed. But then in the morning, when she's making him breakfast, she's in her human form as Jennifer Walters, and he gets completely turned off and he is an absolute douchebag. So I felt so bad for her, you know, and I love how she looks at the screen. She's like, this is a very messed up way, pretty much to end the episode, you know, but like, I felt really, really bad for her. I really did. So the court case is basically the magician, Danny Blaze, who was basically a student of Wong's. He basically was being trained. And I think he conjured something. He did something really stupid and got kicked out, and then took his act on the road using what he learned as magic, but not, he would have these shows and he would take people and he would send them through the freaking multiverse in the different like demon realms and stuff, which is insane, you know? And so they go to court and, you know, Wong's trying to prove that this is bad. And the judge is like literally on his side, like on Danny Blaze's side. He's like, well, until I make my final decision, you know, he can do what he wants. And we're introduced to a girl, and her name is Madison, and she is absolutely hilarious. She is hilarious. She's like Wong's sidekick. But basically, she's one of those people that you want to smack the hell out of because, you know, if you're watching your favorite show, she's spoiling all the episodes for you. Because like he was trying to watch The Sopranos, and she started spoiling stuff, and he's like, I'm on that episode. But, you know, long story short, she was getting on his nerves, but by the end, they were literally hanging out together and drinking and watching TV. And I don't know where they're going with this character, but I really like her because she's very stupid. Well, she's not stupid. She's just silly. And she acts like an airhead sometimes, but it's funny the way she acts like an airhead. It's not like that, oh my God, can she put a brain cell together? It's like literally everything she says, even though it's kind of out there, is kind of funny. So I think of her as Wong's comedy relief, because Wong is a very serious character, but he says things in a way that are humorous, and she's just effortlessly humorous. So I love them together. It's so funny to watch them. I don't know if they're going to bring her in on something else with him. If this is her only appearance, is going to be in this show. I don't know, but I'm hoping we keep Madison around because I really am really liking this character. Especially how she's like, medicine, SYNE. I'm like, she's stupid. I'm like, but yeah, having a former Kamar-Taj student using magic irresponsibly, I mean, it's not like that's impossible. I remember in Doctor Strange, there was a character who we know later, well, actually, no, he actually got killed because he was using magic, even though he decided not to pursue magic to keep his legs. He had the ability to walk, and he was sustaining his ability to walk through magic. And so we've seen that happen. So I've always wondered how many, kicked out students are actually still out there practicing magic in the real world. Because it doesn't seem like they have a program in place to take the power away or block their memories or wipe their memories of ever being there, which maybe that's something they should start doing if it gets like this. Because maybe Donnie Blaze will basically set the precedent of maybe we need to wipe their memories so they don't know they have magic or can use magic, because it's just crazy that they're just out there. Anybody could be out there doing anything with these abilities. And that's like, it's not only is it very powerful, it's very sus. So, just putting it out there. But yeah, there wasn't a lot in terms of basically who's trying to hunt her down. Like, I remember in the beginning of the episode 4, her father was like getting, I think he gave her a baseball bat or something, and she's like, "I'm literally the Hulk." "I'm a Hulk. I don't need a bat. If somebody comes at me, I'll just kick their ass." I'm like, simple. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like I don't think this is going to be a slow burn into the plot. I just think it's literally being treated by like a case by case scenario. It's like, last week we had this case, this week, we have this case. So she's a lawyer. So I do like how they're doing it. Like, it's almost like you're watching LA Law or something, or Law and Order. Um, but yeah, there's just these introductions to different characters, and her breaking the fourth wall every time is just really what I love about the show the most. I love that it's a show that technically does not take itself seriously, and she's basically the female Deadpool. So, I mean, I'm here for it. I really am. It does make me wonder though. Um, so we know that her boss is shady. And, there's a lot of, I know we already know who some of the villains are gonna be. It does make me wonder though, what else is gonna be tied in with Secret Invasion, because I kinda feel like the more we get closer to Secret Invasion, the more we're gonna start getting little drops, and little Easter eggs or whatever leading up to Secret Invasion. So I'm really curious to see, and I could be missing some, but I'm just curious to see what, especially in her, maybe in the last few episodes, are we gonna actually see um, something of that nature, because they did have Runa, and they showed a light fairy. I think she's Asgardian, a light fairy who can shapeshift. And so I don't know. I just think that could be like a precursor to what we're seeing, or maybe I'm just like putting my own wants into this. But that's what I want. I want to see, the closer we get to Secret Invasion, the more we start to see little Easter eggs of something's not right. And I'm hoping we see this like across all the universes, because I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal in the comics. Well, technically they did it twice, but it was a big deal in the comics. So I'm very curious if we're going to see that. So I don't know. We might. But yeah. So right now, as it stands, I don't know again if Madison's just a side character, if she's going to be a regular character, but I'm really hoping, really hoping that we do, that becomes a thing. I think Wong is pretty much going to win his case because of all the demons that were flying around the courthouse. I think the judge is probably going to say, "Hey, maybe this is not a good thing." So I don't think we have to worry about that. I don't know. All of it was just crazy. It was just very, very crazy. And I kind of feel like in episode 5 is where we're probably going to start heating up to who's after Jen and all this other stuff, because her dating life just sucks. So I'm not even gonna worry about that. I don't even know if she's gonna have a love interest in this season. Hmm. Because she basically, when she said to Hulk in the pilot episode, "This is why you're always, out here alone, because you're a Hulk, and I don't want that life." And now she has that life. But I don't think what she understands is she kind of had that life before, because she didn't have anybody before she became a Hulk. So I think that she's going to start to realize that maybe she needs to work on Jen and not rely on She-Hulk. I think she's starting to see that. So yeah, there's a lot you can take from this show. Honestly, there really is. I am seeing your comments, guys. Just trying to, I have 2 screens now, so I'm trying to pop it over so I can read them more. So if you see me going this way, it's because my monitor's on that side. The interesting thing about Madison is that people are speculating that the deal she made with the devil was Mephisto. I'm not, you know what? I was going to mention that, but I'm so effing tired of MCU throwing Mephisto at us and it not paying out that I'm just not even going to bother. I'm not. I thought there are many times in different shows I think about whenever they mention the devil, they're talking about Mephisto. But no, I'm not gonna sink to MCU's, Easter egg torturous level anymore. Also, what about Nico and Morgan? Is he only after the sorcerers are all magic users? Apparently Donnie summoned beer caves. um as for Ray, I don't know. And as for Kevin, he might have summoned more than beer kegs, because I think he was summoning those birds. And not necessarily from another dimension, but probably from outside. I mean, I don't know what he did besides the beer keg incident, because I know that's probably what got him thrown out. But I know that his summoning ability is interesting because I don't think he has a really good grip on it, which is how those demons got through in the first damn place. He just opening portals everywhere, you know? It's like, look at this hole. He has no idea. There's no destination, you know? He's just randomly opening holes and hoping for the best. And I'm like, I'm surprised that, well, actually, I don't even know. Maybe some of the people at the magic shows did die. That's a good question mark. Because wasn't there, this wasn't Madison. There was another woman who refused to go through the portal. She's like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, I'm not doing that. You can call me up as a volunteer all you want. I'm not doing it. So I thought that was really funny. The entirety of this stupid controversy started when it was first announced at San Diego Comic-Con in 2019. The showrunner definitely used the comments of the official announcement of this show and predicted the of course. I mean, it's not hard. Nerd rage is just stupid. Like, people get so in their feelings about stupid shit. It is really weird. I don't understand it. I mean, literally, it is a female comic book character. It is her own comic. How are you going to diss a girl for being a Hulk in She-Hulk? She-Hulk. It tells you right there, it's a woman. Don't watch the show, because obviously you didn't read the comic book. So just stupid. Common sense fairy has not blessed these people. Let's put it that way. I always wondered what happened to the magic students who didn't make it. Yep, but what about more of the guy who has been an easy target for magic abuse? Good. That's a good question, actually. But did Mordo? I didn't think Mordo was like banished. Well, I guess technically now, but I just wonder what happens. Like, what if you're there for like a week or two? Like, you know what I mean? You're a student for a week and you learn like 2 spells. They just let you take those 2 spells with you home, even though you're not practicing anymore. You still have that power. So what does that mean? You know what I mean? You like, you know, when you like leave the force of some nature, like the police force, or you're no longer a firefighter, you turn your gun and your badge in, or you turn your uniform and your, you know, suits in. They don't let you take that home. You don't get to just carry the badge and the gun around and you're not a cop anymore. You know what I mean? You're not going to use your firefighter, you know, equipment just to crawl around your attic, you know? So like, why do they let you take the magic with you? They should do something to like strip them of the ability to use magic. Therefore, there's no chance of them, you know, misusing it. I don't know why that's not something that's in place. So I have like a lot of question marks on that. It's very strange. Also, Danny Blaze saying his name so many times was hilarious. Yeah. Danny Blaze was that. He had a little arrogant punk, isn't he? I love She-Hulk, and I do believe there is a Mephisto confirmation with Jacob and that devil deal. Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, there was a confirmation when you saw his image on the church like the church glass on the window. I mean, in Loki, who gave the little girl the gum? She said it was the Red Devil. I'm like, I don't know what they're doing. Like I said, the ideal time to introduce this character was in WandaVision. They gave us every Easter egg and they did nothing with it. And it's just whatever. I don't care. They like to mess with you. It's just what it is. I think the show was going to use real Tinder, but then they changed it to something else. They probably didn't want to pay anything out to Tinder. It's probably what that was. Even for superheroes, dating is tough, right? Well, especially for superheroes. Think about the superheroes, like literally never. Well, I don't want to say never. Depends on the genre, though. So if we're talking TV show, if it's a TV show, they get married and have kids and all that stuff. Flash, Superman and Lois, Black Lightning. But when it's movie land, they don't really do all that. I can't be with you. My life is so dangerous, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, okay, sure, whatever. You know, I don't care anymore. The writers know exactly what they are doing. They do. I bet you they were probably trolling Twitter and looking at other comments on other Superman properties and seeing what people are saying, especially if a female was involved, and like saying, yep, this is the kind of crap we're going to get, and then wrote the script accordingly based on all the comments they were reading. I mean, it would not be hard to do. So that is a thing. They also referenced her comic origins in episode 3. Yeah, I'm like, a lot of people don't realize that the accent she had was actually in the comics. Bruce actually gave her a blood donation. It wasn't a scratch. So yeah, they do kind of go back and talk about She-Hulk a little bit more accurately, which is, it makes you question, why didn't you just do that in the show? But you know what? That's fine. Happy Monday, Kevin. Let me scroll down. I'm gonna start at the bottom again so I get to where I recognize. I'll start here. Sorry. Here we go. It seems weird that they are doing Armor Wars without Tony Stark. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second because I was looking at the interview they did with Don Cheadle, and he's like, Armor Wars will be true to its comic book lore, but I mean, Iron Man's not in it, so it's not true to the comic book lore because Iron Man's dead. Like, so that is a thing, I guess. Let's see. Trying to make sure I have all of it. So I have like a whole thing of news up. I wanted to make sure we've had a chance to talk about some of the stuff. One is not really news. I just wanted to talk about it because I'm obsessed with something and it's probably childish, but I love, not really childish, but probably stupid. I love the Life is Strange games, and I have a Switch and they're releasing like I think it's the full collection. It has like Before the Storm on it. I'm trying to find it again because good old Google Chrome. Whenever I want something, it never gives it to me. But they are. I think it's the remaster collection. I believe is what it is. I want the remaster collection so bad for Switch. I don't know if any of you guys are Life is Strange fans. I also love True Colors. I have that one on Switch. But I love the first Life is Strange. I know I'm probably in the minority. They also have I think it's there's like 6 volumes, 2 box sets of Life is Strange, the comic, which takes place a year after what happens, all the events in Arcadia Bay, but it basically is based on if you choose to save Chloe and not destroy, basically save Arcadia Bay and kill her. And then like the repercussions behind that. So I love, love, love Life is Strange. And so I'm very, very excited about that. I know that's not news, but it's news for me because I really, really, really want to play that game on Switch. I have a Steam account and I have a PS4. I don't have a PS5 yet. It's just impossible to get right now. But like I don't mind it on these, platforms, but I definitely love my Switch because I can carry it around. And I've been playing True Colors. My daughter actually got it for me. She it's her birthday on Wednesday. I can't believe my daughter's going to be 26 on Wednesday. But she works for Nintendo, but she used one of her game credits to convert it to a gift card, and I was able to just get the game. And like I got it for like 10% off. So now I have the Switch game. So props to my daughter Mai. Love her, love her, love her. And I've been like obsessively playing it like ever since. I love it. I'd never played True Colors, so I'm kind of trying to stay off of YouTube, not watch the cutscenes. I don't want to know what happens. So I'm about 30 minutes in since I just got it yesterday. So, I'm trying, guys, but I love the Life is Strange series. And I heard that Life is Strange 4 is coming out, which is it 3 or 4? I think it's 4. Because it's going to be Max's character grown up. And I don't know if this is the story is going to take place when she chose to save Arcadia Bay, meaning Chloe won't be in it, or she saves Chloe and it's repercussions again and whatever. I know she's supposed to be a teacher or something, and those are rumors, but I am really excited about that. So that's just me, but I have not seen the remastered version of The Last of Us. I need to look into that because I do like The Last of Us. The Last of Us 2 kind of irritated me. The ending anyway. The whole thing with Ellie and what was her, Dina? Let's get her name messed. I think it's Dina. I just wanted to smack the hell out of Ellen, but that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. I do love. I guess I love real engine games. I just do. I do. But yeah, back to what you were saying about Armor Wars. Yeah. They're trying to make it comic accurate, but again, I don't understand how that's going to be because your major player is dead. Like I don't understand any of that stuff. I don't get it, guys. It's just what it is. I'm waiting for a trailer. I look at the trailers, try and see, because sometimes a trailer will give you a good insight into what they try to do, even if it's not accurate, even if there's more to the movie, or basically the best parts are in the trailer. At least you can kind of see where they're trying to go with it for the most part. Like looking at the Black Panther 2 like trailer, look badass. You can see that there's a lot of stuff that's messed up now that T'Challa is dead. And it looks like to me, I mean, I don't know why his mother is having to speak. I don't know if she's trying to put herself in a position of I'm still the queen of Wakanda. Yes, I don't have my son anymore. Yes, my husband is dead. I don't have another male heir. It's just me and Shuri. My daughter can take the room. I don't know what that's about, but I know it's going to be something political and like there's so many like avenues to that are going to be interesting that you can see by the trailer how kick-ass that movie is. But sometimes you get trailers where it's like, what the hell? So, I mean, I've seen trailers where I'm like, this doesn't tell me anything at all. So I guess I'm just waiting to see what the trailer looks like. Let me try to move up a little bit. Sorry, guys. I also have a Mac in here. I have a MacBook Air M1. It has no fan. You're probably hearing my fan that's on me right now, but I have this for voiceovers because when you record stuff and you have a fan, it distorts your voice. So this is the perfect laptop for voiceover work. But it also means I keep forgetting that my mouse is set up differently in here. So I'm like, why am I scrolling? Let's see. Let me jump to your other comment and then I'll move up. Also, the only thing I'm getting hyped for in the MCU is X-Men and the Fantastic Four. I am and I'm not. I'm really worried because, again, MCU, they reinvent the wheel. I'm scared of what they might do to some of my favorite X-Men characters. Now, to be fair, they probably won't be anywhere near as bad as what Bryan Singer did to X-Men, but I'm nervous. And Fantastic Four, everything's a win at this point. When I watched the Jessica Alba version of Fantastic Four, it's campy. It's funny. I think Ben's actor, the Things actor, was really well cast. Johnny Storm is basically Captain America, so I mean, it is what it is. I didn't really mind the cast. It was just very campy and a little cheesy, but it wasn't horrible. Like a lot of people thought it was just horrible. I'm like, no, I've seen worse. I like the remake of it, Fantastic Four. They could have kept that. So, but we'll see. We'll see what they do. Lord knows all the fake outrage directed at She-Hulk and the writers have plenty of material. That is very true. Very true. Donnie is doing better than Ned and America Chavez with his magic. Now, to be fair, America Chavez, even though, okay, my America is this very, like, older, a little bit more butch. She's not butch, but, like, built, like Korra. She's like Korra from Legend of Korra, and she's just very smart-ass and very sexually aware of herself and very flirtatious with women. That is my America Chavez. And the version that we had in Doctor Strange 2 is basically what I envisioned her to be like when she was 5 or 6 years old. Because remember when she left the Utopian Parallel, she went to different like universes. And then I don't know if she got hurt. Something happened. And I think she like lost her memory when she was a kid. And then she was adopted by this family. And they lived in New York. I can't remember if it was Brooklyn or something like that. But it was an Hispanic family, which is why she speaks Spanish, because everyone was so in their feelings that America Chavez was culturally appropriating. And it's they're a whole ass aliens. They're a whole ass different world. And so I think they tried to make up for that by having her backstory say that she was adopted into this family. But that's how she is in Doctor Strange 2, not knowing how to use her powers correctly, kicking down, just not sure of herself. That's how she was when she was 5 or 6 years old. The only thing they did was they upped the age. So now she's like, what, 13 or 14, maybe 15? But like, I don't know. I'm still in my feelings, guys, because, her and Kate Bishop have this crazy friendship and flirtatious thing going on. And I just cannot see this young girl flirting with, our Kate Bishop because of the age difference. It's just really weird. But that's just me. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm trying to scroll up and then I'm going to scroll back down. Okay. I think we already did that one. Yeah, Donnie has skills but no training. Yeah, and he's an ego and a half. You would think after being kicked out of magic school, you would be kind of embarrassed, Now he's capitalizing on it. I guess money talks, right? Let's scroll down. Okay. Also, I prefer America's original backstory, which is kind of Superman's esque, than her new one where it's all in her head. Yeah, where she's like literally a lab baby. Well, no, So she had a disease, and her mothers were working with this mad scientist, but he was nefarious, and he was experimenting on these kids. They even had a whole ass. She has a sister that was created to help, cure her or whatever. The whole thing was convoluted and crazy. I don't know why they did that. I really don't. I think is very stupid. The Utopian Parallel was a much bigger, like Demure having to creating this whole realm and this, planet of people with these abilities was a lot better than what they were trying to, tell us that it was. They just basically pulled a Moon Knight, and I don't like it. I think it's full of crap. Do you think that was Thanos' ship flown by Bruce and Jen while they were in the car? Potentially. I mean, like I said, Sword is out there. They've got the whole base in space. But plus Hulk is already dealing with, because we saw in Shang-Chi, he's already investigating different alien tech and ancient civilizations and different magic and tokens and powers and amulets and the rings and all this shit. So like all of this stuff is gonna like culminate into like major arcs later on. So it is a thing. Whether this is a secret invasion thing or we're going up to the Young Avengers, it could be really anything. But I do think that he is. I don't know why, but right now I think he's actually working with Fury. I just think he is. That's just me. I'm crazy. It would be a good tie-in though. How old is Chavez in MCU? I think she's 13. The actress is 13. So I think, isn't she 13? 13 or 14? So I think that's what they were doing in the. I'm pretty sure that's what they aged her to be in the MCU, which again, you have Kate Bishop, who is like 24. So a 13-year-old can't flirt with, well, I guess you could flirt with a 24-year-old, but it would just be inappropriate if she started flirting back. So it's just a thing. I don't know. I think that's, I don't know. Have you seen the Werewolf by Night trailer? Because some people are upset that it was branded as comedy, despite being inspired by 1930s or 40s horror movies in black and white that are cheesy and campy. People just want a bitch trail. I haven't watched the trailer yet. We were talking about that yesterday, though. Like I said, people are going to bitch no matter what, unfortunately. I mean, it's just what it is. People have to have something to complain about at all times. And it's just sad because there's so many good movies and shows out there that people won't even give a chance based on what they see other people bitching about. Because unfortunately, we live in a society that's not completely open-minded and not like people don't tend to really think for themselves. They like to follow herds. And so it's just high school. We have a bunch of high schoolers at all ages running around trying to be in a clique and putting stuff down without giving it a chance. Our understanding things can be different and you can still be good, blah, blah, blah. It's just stupid. So I never let anybody influence my decision. It's why I don't watch other review channels, because I don't want anybody telling me something and making me think a certain way, even if I am, even if I have the fortitude to think for myself. I don't want them to trigger something in my brain that makes me question something for a second that I didn't come up with myself. So that's pretty much how that is. Not saying that all reviewers do that, but there are some that are very persuasive in getting you to think how they think. I don't ever want to be that kind of reviewer. I just say what I think. You can think what you think, and then we just all move on. And that's basically what it is. And so it's just really weird. It's very weird. What did I think of Twerking Hulk? I think she was having a great time with Megan Thee Stallion. She's like, I will die for you. That whole thing was absolutely hilarious to me. It really was. There is something I wanted to talk about. Let me get to it because we need to talk about this. This is an Arrowverse article that I read with Diggle's actor, which really ticked me off. So in the article, basically, I'll just summarize. He was like, well, you know how we ended my Green Lantern journey on The Flash? Well, that's before we thought the Arrowverse was completely going away. But now, with Superman and Lois, they're not even on the same Earth. So maybe the ring will come back. So let me talk about how I'm very in my feelings about this, guys. He said Superman and Lois is not on the same Earth as the Flash and I guess what Arrow would have been and Black Lightning and even Batwoman, right? Then how in the hell was Diggle over there? So that is my problem with that. That's number one. If it's not on the same Earth, how are you in Smallville in the last season? Not once, but twice. It's not the same Earth, right? And if it's not the same Earth, you should have never found the damn ring because you found the ring on your Earth. So, like, is Diggle able to does he have this ability now where he's able to just jump, Earths? Somebody needs to explain that shit to me. I am tired of this. I'm already in my feelings that we were kind of dragged along with this little Green Lantern journey through all these episodes spaced out in the Arrowverse. And now you're telling me, oh, but maybe we made a mistake. Maybe the Diggle of this Earth will become a Green Lantern. No, there is no Diggle of this Earth. You were Diggle on this Earth. That means Superman and Lois should be on the same Earth as Supergirl was, as Batwoman, as Black Lightning, as all of them, except for Stargirl, because Stargirl was established at being on Earth 2. And Naomi, when it was on, was another Earth as well. I think it was Earth 4. I have to go back and look. But Earth 1, Prime Earth, that was all of our main, shows. So how are you going to say that this is a different Earth when Diggle has been to Smallville twice? Oh, God. We're not stupid. We are not stupid, guys. Their writing is dumb. That's basically how I feel about that. And I mean, even when I was talking about the season finale of Superman and Lois, I did mention that I didn't understand how Diggle was there talking to, to John at the end. How was John Henry and him having a conversation when Diggle is not supposed to be from the same Earth? Somebody please educate me because I don't understand that. So that's a problem. That is a problem. That is a huge flipping problem for me. And I don't really know what to do about it. But yeah, it's how I feel. I feel like, I don't know, maybe they just got their signals crossed. Maybe half of the camp, at the CW or whatever they're going to start calling themselves, and Arrowverse or post or pre-Arrowverse are not on the same page with each other. Maybe some of them don't realize that Superman and Lois is a whole other Earth now. Maybe some of them are still like me, understanding that they were all on the same Earth. They just had things happen in their Earths. Because Diggle cannot be the central character that's able to visit all of these Earths, even if it's on a whole other damn planet, another Earth. It's just weird. I just don't understand. I don't understand. Oh, I don't understand. I'm in my feelings. That's all I can say. I am in my feelings. I'm not appreciative of this. Well, there goes CW's Justice League. I mean, you understand what I'm saying, right? It doesn't track. I don't understand what they're doing. I think if they wanted to cancel something, they should have canceled Crisis on Infinite Earth and undo all that bullshit because it was just stupid and a waste of damn time. Like, Oliver Queen's death was dumb. It was dumb. Especially coming back as Spectre. I mean, you were like, oh, Oliver's dead. Oh, he's back in this episode. I'm like, just stop. Let's fucking stop. It was a waste of time. It really was. The cameos were the most exciting part of all of Crisis. That's all I'm going to say about that. We have different giggles, and Starverse Superman is different versions than the ones we are watching. So again, but my thing, Ray, is how is Diggle able to go to Superman and Lois' Smallville? He shouldn't be able to. I stand by that. That Diggle should not be Diggle. And if they have their own Diggle who has the exact same life as the one on Prime Earth, that makes no sense to me. I don't get it. I don't understand. So that is I guess that's just a thing that I'm just not going to understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm looking at some of the stuff that I'm going back. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping over the place. I'm looking at some of the news stuff that I had for you guys that we were talking about earlier. Some of them are just stuff that you've already known. Like, I'm really excited about Wednesday. I don't know if anybody else is going to be watching that on Netflix. I remember talking to Jam, and we were discussing how the scene in the trailer, if you haven't watched Wednesday's trailer, she goes into her school with 2 bags of piranhas and she dumps it into a chlorine-filled swimming pool, which technically those fish should have died. Like, before they ever reached the destination, they should have died because they can't breathe in chlorine. But I suspend my disbelief. But the show in itself kind of reminds me of a darker version, if it's possible, of Sabrina. And I'm here for it. Like, I'm waiting to see her special school that she goes to, the ones that her parents met at, and the whole trailer looks really good. So I am excited to see if this show lives up to the trailer, because the trailer is pretty badass. The writers had confirmed that there are different versions of the characters we met in Arrowverse, and I'm completely down with them having different characters. They just need to they need to separate Diggle. Diggle should be established as a completely different character, not somebody still working in the same job with the same connections, and not them talking to each other like they talked to each other when they were back during Crisis on Infinite Earth. I stand by this, guys. I stand by it. We should have been dead the first time, and then, or Oliver should have been dead the first time, and then bring him back as Spectre. It would have made a little more sense. Yeah, like even if they spaced out the episodes, like they go a few episodes depressed as hell that he's dead, and then all of a sudden he's Spectre. Not the next damn episode. Like what? Oh God, it's just stupid to me. I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, I already did that one. All right, trying to get up my other news feeds, guys, because I like doing live news. It's cool because you never know what's going to happen when you're talking or what's going to be announced. Because I'm all about the announcement life. But let's see. One of my favorite sites is Superhero Hype because they get stuff out really quickly. I don't know why, but they do. Looks like we have Return to the Mandalorian in the first trailer. Oh, the Mandalore in the first teaser for Mandalorian season 3. Uh-oh. Yeah, I actually like the Mandalorian. My spouse loves the Mandalorian. I didn't think River was gonna be into it. River was so into it, that was literally, was it last Halloween? We actually got a Mandalorian costume, and River was walking around as the Mandalorian all day. It was funny. The infiltration begins. We talked about this, the first Secret Invasion trailer. Now, I don't know if this is the teaser trailer we saw when they released it on Comic-Con, or if this is an extended version. I'm curious. Like I said, I kind of got my wish in Doctor Strange too. We had a version of the Illuminati. It wasn't my version of the Illuminati, but they were there. I'm wondering if we're going to see the Illuminati, this Earth's version, or whatever Earth we're dealing with now's version, on or in the Secret Invasion. Because again, I'm trying not to get my hopes up, because if you look at WandaVision, they threw so much crap at us at one time. But there's a scene where one of the soldiers, they were infiltrating Wanda's, we'll call it bubble, and everyone got turned into like a circus. And he was like, I think he was a ringmaster. And if you looked at his waist, he was wearing Sentry's belt. So that gives me hope that if we have Sentry, we have the Illuminati, because the Illuminati was very much pro trying to make sure that Sentry wasn't out of control, and they formed this whole group to keep him in check. So I really want to know if that's going to be, if we're going to see Sentry in this too. I don't know. There's just so much, but I will say I am in my feelings once again that we're not going to get, even though I'm not a Black Widow fan, that scene in the comics where she basically eliminates the possibility of who's real and who's not by just shooting everybody. We're not going to get that scene. Natasha's not going to do that, so brutally. And I mean, I don't know if they're going to give this to her sister to do or not, because Yelena ended up being America Chavez's character in the Hawkeye TV series, because how she banters with Kate Bishop in the elevator and when they talk to each other, that was America Chavez and Kate Bishop. So they replaced America with Yelena, because Yelena and Kate Bishop do not have that relationship in the comics. So I don't know what they're going to do. It seems like they're assigning these really cool roles to other characters and things that they traditionally do. So it is what it is, I guess. Did you see the Winnie the Pooh trailer that came out? I did not. I never liked Winnie the Pooh. Is that bad? Now, I did have a British mother, and so my bear love was always Paddington Bear. I had a Paddington Bear. I was raised watching Paddington Bear cartoon, that old cartoon. But yeah, I never really got into Winnie the Pooh. I think they kind of got on my nerves. I don't know. It's kind of like Toucan Sam. Toucan Sam and is it the Fruit Loops commercials? I got so mad that his picture is on the box and it's actually his, and the kids kept taking it from him. And I was like, these little assholes. So I always felt like Winnie the Pooh, just give him some honey and just let him be him. Just let him go do his stuff. Let him just do what he does, But yeah, I'm weird that way. I'm sorry, guys. I was never a Winnie the Pooh fan. All right, let's see here. So we're talking about Captain America's New World Order. Now, I did see, I don't know if I saw this article last I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, how, Tim Blake Nelson would become the basically the arch villain in this. So I'm wondering I'm gonna be real with you. This is gonna be bad to say, but I loved the chemistry between my bromance brothers, which was Sam and Bucky. I want Sam and Bucky to be in every Captain America movie or property together. I don't really care about the actor. I don't care about politics. I don't care about any of that shit. I'm talking about the characters themselves. I really love Bucky and Sam together. The banter between those two is both it's just effing hilarious. So them announcing all this is fine, but I want them to be like, and his sidekick or best friend or pal or partner or whatever, Winter Soldier. Like, and then I will be happy. I just don't know. Just from all the stuff I've been seeing about this with Captain America, Sam Wilson, like I don't know if we're gonna get Bucky back in this. I don't know if they're gonna pull him into something else, and then it's just Sam, which I'm not opposed to. I like Sam. I like his actor. It's just that I love the banter. I love him having that side character that just keeps him in check, and they just talk crap to each other, and it's just I love it. I absolutely love it. I just don't know if we're gonna get that, but I mean, it is what it is. I know Julius Ono Will is directing Captain America. This is Captain America 4. But technically it's really Sam's, because you can't count his TV show, so I guess it's his first movie. But I don't know. I really need him to be in it, and I know he probably isn't. I know he's not gonna be. Like Sabra, I think, is in it. Who else do they say? Isaiah Bradley's definitely gonna be in it. But yeah, I don't think so. Jaquin Torres, which makes sense of who he later becomes, or he becomes the new Falcon. But I don't see anything about Bucky, and so why? Like, guys, give me what I want, and I'll go away. So yeah, that is a thing. And yeah, so Kevin had asked yesterday. I do remember about the Thunderbolts cast. I've been really I've been like, I knew U.S. Agent was gonna be in it, but I don't know. I mean, it has potential. Like I said, I'm going to tell you what I said about when I talked about the other things we were talking about. I'm going to wait for the trailer and then, to see how I really feel. And I know Yelena is in it. Red Guardian apparently is in it. Taskmaster, is it? Yeah, I think Taskmaster is in it. Let me look it up. I think he is. Is she? Ghost is in it. So like we have Bucky. So Bucky's gonna be in Thunderbolts. That's why he's not gonna be in Captain America, I bet, unless he does a little cameo. Man, that really irritates me. If we're not gonna get season 2 of Winter, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, we could at least have him be in freaking Captain America 4 for a little while. That's irritating. That's irritating. That's so irritating. But I mean, like I said, Yelena, Florence Pugh does such a good job as Yelena. I really enjoyed her in Hawkeye. I did not watch the Black Widow movie, but I really enjoyed her in Hawkeye. She's sassy. She doesn't give a shit what you say about her or anything. She's not afraid to kick your ass. I really like her. She's just funny as hell. As for the rest of the cast, though, I mean, Red Guardian, U.S. Agent. U.S. Agent's gonna be what it is. But it looks like U.S. Agent and Bucky are both going to be thrown into Thunderbolts, and then we're just going to have Sam by his little self with, Isaiah Washington, which is not a bad thing, but and just other, random people. We have Falcon, the new Falcon. But I mean, it's just, I don't know, guys. I'm sure there's a plan. Like, it just, whatever. Like, I really want Bucky to be in Captain America 4, but that's just me. Who am I? Is what it is, I guess. So they did also confirm, which is going to probably make people annoyed, that Lex Luthor is coming to season 4 of Titans. I'm on season 2 now, so I have not seen season 3. But somebody told me season 3 was the best season. You guys let me know what you guys think. I haven't started watching it. But that Titus Welliver is going to be Lex Luthor in season 4. I don't know what you guys think about that. I know he was in Lost. Like, I know that. I think it was in, yeah, he was Felix Blake in Agents of Shield. So yeah, he's been in a few things that I know about. Oh, was he in Batman: The Long Halloween? I didn't know that. Huh. He was Carmine Falcon. Okay, so he was Falcon in that. Cool. Um, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I don't like where I am right now. I just feel like because I have not seen season 3, it doesn't really mean a lot to me. The characters are okay in Titans. I don't have the same problem with Titans that a lot of people have. I mean, I take all these shows for what they are. Shows trying to make it on a very limited budget. So, I mean, obviously, my heart is definitely going to be a little bit kind of geared towards the show because it has some of my favorite characters in it from DC. But I don't I don't think it's trash. Like, a lot of people think that a lot of it is trash. I don't think it's trash. I think that there of course, there's problematic writing, but that's in every show and every movie, so, just like Thor, Love and Thunder, I didn't think it was trash, and it was getting trashed online before I even watched it. It was getting trashed, and I didn't have the problems that other people had, so I guess I'm just like I said, I'm different, guys. I'm a little different, but yeah, I think that the Titus Welliver might be a good Lex Luthor. Um I mean, for what I saw in Lost, he was pretty good. So, I mean, I don't really see that being a problem. So, I'm cool with it. I am cool with it. I'm checking your. Yeah, I am checking your comments too. I think they said that there isn't the full roster. Also, I think that Zemo is in it. Well, he was the leader of Thunderbolts in the comics, so that would make sense because his name was actually included in the URL link to the Thunderbolts announcement. Okay. Will there be a new season for Riverdale? I don't know. It's canceled, but I think they might be getting one more season. Which is interesting because they didn't do that with other shows. I did read Supergirl. Lex will be making an appearance on Supergirl and Lois. I mean, on Supergirl and Lois. Lord, there's a new show, Superman and Lois. That's interesting. Melissa did say she's open to being brought back, which means maternity leave is over and she's ready to act again. She has a whole other show though. She has a show where she's like a reporter, and somebody else is in that show from Arrowverse. I can't remember who it was, but she has a whole other TV show. Maybe she means like on a guest appearance, maybe as a guest, a Supergirl. I don't know. Also the actor for Titans, Lex, is a huge comic book fan. Yeah, then that tracks. I mean, you would have to be to take all these comic book roles. So Riverdale is getting one more season. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what else we got. They're talking about previewing The Boys the Jimmy spinoff with new concept art. I'm just catching up with The Boys too. And some people are saying they don't like the latest season of The Boys, and I don't know what you guys think about that. Again, I don't see a problem with it. So it has one of the most grotesque scenes I've ever seen in my life that involves a man's penis. That's all I'm gonna say. If you haven't seen it, don't worry about it. But it was wow. Like, let's see. I'm not gonna say his name right. Ki Hoi Kwan joins Loki season 2, and then Randall Park is returning for Ant-Man 3. I love that Randall Park is playing a Chinese man. But again, every time I see him in anything, I have so much hope that we're gonna get the Agents of Atlas. So we're getting the Atlas Foundation. We're getting it. Fingers crossed. Let's see. Still no word on if you're an Orville fan, New Horizons, whether we're getting season 4 or not. I'm just so I really need season 4. If you guys have not checked out the Orville, you really need to. Because the third season, New Horizons, is the best because the budget on that show is effing insane. Like, every episode looks like a damn movie. I don't know how to explain it. It just does. Not saying the first 2 weren't good. They are. It's a funny show. It's very like they take serious Star Trek-ish type situations and they add nonsensical like Family Guy type humor to it. And it is crazy. Like, there's no point in time when you're on the bridge and your navigator or your pilot's like, "Oh, fuck," when they're going through a wormhole, and stuff like that. It's like, that doesn't happen. Or have characters later on in later seasons, they'll say, "You know what? Every time I go to work, something crazy's happened on this damn ship. Sick of it," Like, stuff like that is something that's incorporated in this world. But the special effects, especially in the 3rd season, like, the writing in the 3rd season is on point. Like, I did not find a problem with anything that happened in season 3, and that is very hard for somebody, because, I look for nitpick shit. I really do. So yeah, I love it, but I don't know, because Disney owns it now. And in all the other countries it played on Disney Plus, it's on Disney Plus now, but we had it originally for its run on Hulu. And then I was one of the lucky ones that got to, like, follow it. So I always got screeners. So I got the screeners usually the day before they would be released on Hulu. So I got to see it a day in advance, which was so bad for me, because it happened, like, I started getting the screeners like a couple of days after my dad died and all that stuff started happening. So I wasn't able to review it episode by episode, but I did get to do like a mass review with Joe. And then I also got to interview the cast. That basically we did the cast a week before it premiered on or dropped on Hulu. And then I got to pick 2 people to interview at the end, and I did Claire and Isaac. So I do have to post it. It's about a 15-minute interview. It's very funny. And so I do need to post that. But my Lord, I really want people to just push for season 4 of the Orville, because that show was amazing. I can say this as a Trekkie. I like the Orville more than I like Star Trek. That is saying a lot, I know, but it's absolutely true. So they do things on that show it's just amazing. So I love that show. Ray says, "I'm the Orville," and I say hi. Yeah, I'm telling you, we definitely need to get a season 4. Disney needs to do it. We're going to have 2 superhuman shows built around young generations with Arrowverse and the Boys spinoffs. Yeah, and the Gotham Knights, I'm still not excited, guys. I'm trying. I'm going to watch the first 3 episodes, but I'm just not excited about that show. I don't know what it is. I'm just not. I love dark Gotham. I have no problem with that. It's just, why do they keep killing off Bruce? I don't know why he has to die, go missing, fall in a hole. If you don't have rights to a character, then don't do a world built around him. Wait till you have the right to use him, which I don't know why you can't use him, because we have Superman in the DCE universe. We have the Flash in the DCE universe. Why can't we have Batman in the Arrowverse, or whatever verse we're going with now? I don't understand why we can't have that. You know what I mean? So it's just stupid, but whatever. Whatevs. Let's see. I'm more into Justice U than Gotham Knights, as far as projects. Oh, so Diggle's show, Justice, is that what it was? Justice U, where he sends metahumans in to this school to investigate stuff. You know what I would be more interested in? Diggle getting his damn Green Lantern ring. That's what I would be more interested in. But whatever. Actually, how do we feel about the mechanics of a Kryptonians and Martians having sex? Is interspecies relations a thing by or non-biped? Okay, so I don't understand the mechanics behind Superman having sex with a human. Because I keep thinking back to the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve, where they demonstrated, I think it was in the 3rd movie or the 4th, I think it was the 4th movie, where they took a little, like, one little strand of his hair was holding up 2 tons of pounds, basically, in a museum. If one of strand of your hair can do that, then what can your sperm do? I'm just saying that's the one thing he can't control. The release of the speed of into her ovary, blasting out the back of her butt. I'm just saying, I don't understand it. I've never understood it. I don't get it. Unless they're doing it under a red Kryptonian lamp. A red sun lamp. I don't know how he sleeps with his wife. Never understood it. Never will understand it. Just don't get it. Whatevs. I used to think the same thing about Spider-Man. He's super strong and he can, like, lose control and break Mary Jane. And also, they actually played around with this. There's a comic issue where she actually ends up getting cancer because of all of the times they had sex, and all of the times, because apparently his sperm had radiation in it and it was poisoning her every time they were sleeping together, which is really messed up. But at least somebody addressed it. So I don't know. That's always been a question that I have. So interspecies beside, which how do they do it in general? Like, unless it's somebody of their own species. It's just really weird. It's really weird. Um, Gotham Knights looks so bad. The cow, the cow is trash. The whole next generation concept in this show is awful. The most disrespectful thing they did to Batman is that he's dead while wearing regular pants. He had regular pants on? Wow. Yeah. See, why don't they just do what I want again, because it's all about me. Why don't they just do a Batman Beyond show? Although I don't think I would want the Arrowverse to do it. I think I want HBO Max to do it because they did amazingly with Peacemaker, and they could have James Gunn like take this on as a project and have him helm a Batman Beyond freaking. Yeah. Oh, could you? I mean, I just want a Batman Beyond in general TV show. I don't want a movie. I want a TV show. Because we can explore more villains from Terry's universe. That's what we need. That is what we need. We're probably not ever going to get it, but that's what we need. Like, why can't we just use that? If we can use old Bruce and he's not actually Batman anymore, then we can use Terry. Terry's not as proprietary, I would think, as Bruce Wayne. So maybe we can just use him. Just do Batman Beyond. It's sad when fans say something for years and they still don't catch on. They're like in the boardroom, what should we do next? Batman Beyond, dumbass. I'm like, nobody cares about the death of Superman 155 times. No one cares. We don't need another origin story. We don't need any of this stuff. Batman Beyond. Just do it. Guys. Let's see. Trying to see if any other news dropped while we were talking, because it happens all the time. Plus, I'm really behind on stuff, so I'm really seeing a lot of the stuff for the first time. So let's see here. Oh yeah, I saw this. The Disney has a new Avengers campus attraction. I'm like, it's kind of cool though. It does make me wonder if that's going to double as their filming lot. Like they're going to be like, we're going to use this as actual shots of the Avengers campus now, so we don't have to spend extra money on building a set. Like, sneaky Disney. I see what you did there. I'm laying off of the Star Wars news because I just don't feel like going into that right now. Just don't. They did show some new like screenshots from The Last of Us, which the live action show, which I'm kind of intrigued because, again, I like the game. I really like the second game, except for the ending. Last maybe 20 minutes of the game pissed me off, but like I really loved the world, the character world, and I actually, to be fair with you though, there were actually parts that I didn't like. I didn't like with Joel either, but I really am enjoying the show. So I'm wondering if it's going to cross between the first and second game. And then I'm wondering if they've announced if they did a third one. I keep trying to check, but I'm not seeing it. So I don't know. But the live action series looks pretty good. Like, from what they did with the teaser, it looks pretty good. So I am excited about that because a lot of people were kind of like iffy about it because of how bad Resident Evil apparently was on Netflix. I haven't watched it, so I don't know. But a lot of people hated it and it got canceled already. So they're not doing a season 2 of that. But it is a thing. It's something that I am looking forward to. It's just like Winx, because Winx is coming out. I want to say Winx is coming out this month. Season 2. Pretty sure September 18th. Yeah. So September 16th. Sorry. September 16th is where we're going to have the new Winx. And I know that they're introducing Flora because they got a lot of interesting feedback when they basically whitewashed Flora with Tara. And so now Flora is Tara's cousin. Now I'm curious if she's going to have the same power or not. But I just found that whole thing to be interesting. And I am going to be following and I am going to review the Fate Winx Saga season 2 on Netflix when it's done airing, because I'm really interested. You've seen Pixelray. They actually have a video. If you go to YouTube and you type in Fate Winx Saga teaser, you'll see Flora coming in and hugging, Tara. They're in the woods together. So I don't know if they're still in their feelings about Musa's actress, Alicia Applebaum, because they really were. And I get it because, on the one hand, if you're going by Musa, traditionally, she's supposed to be Eastern Asian. And this girl is kind of mixed like me. So I think she's like 1/4 Asian, but she's a bunch of other stuff. And so they were like definitely not happy with the choice for her for Musa, which kind of takes away from the Asian representation in the show. I get it. It would be like making Aisha, you know, Hispanic or indigenous instead of black. And I thought that she was supposed to be Kenyan representation. I have to go back. I don't know if she's Kenyan. I knew it was African. I just didn't know what part of Africa. It's a huge continent. So, but it would be like completely saying, screw Africa, or we're going to go with this other country. And it'd be like, and we're going to make her lighter skinned, something that Hollywood likes to do, and see, how people would react. We know that they would never have done that. But for some reason, they did that to an Eastern Asian character, and they did that to a Latina Hispanic character and had no problem with that. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. But what's so messed up is the actual show is not bad. I mean, plot wise, it's really good. It's different. And they've taken characters and they've merged some of them together to make a character. But I mean, for the most part, though, it's pretty good. So I'm curious to see, because like some stuff went down. I did review it, so if you haven't had a chance, I did do a review. But the stuff that happened in season 1 at the end had a huge effect on the entire school, and let's just say some things shifted. It's definitely a darker telling of Winx. Let's put it that way. So I am very curious to see where this season is going. So that's on the 16th. There's so much coming out this month. So much coming out. And plus in November is going to be a big month too. I know that the third season of Dragon Prince, the third or fourth, I think it's fourth season of Dragon Prince, is coming out in November. So I'm very excited about that. Let's see. I still wish they had the witches and other species later revealed. I agree with that. Well, who knows what they're going to do this season? I'm very curious to see where this is going. They're trying not to make it too cartoony with Fate's Wing Saga, because it's, having little fairy companions and things like that, probably not something that they're going to incorporate into this series. But there are some things politically, and actually politically, there's a lot of politics actually in Winx. So with the adults and the teachers and things like that, and the parents. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We shall see. Let me see here. Another show that I'm hoping gets a second season is Girl in the Woods on Peacock. Is it Girl in the Woods or Girl from the Woods? I have to look that up. But basically, it is messed up. I think it's Girl in the Woods, which I think was based on a short story, if I remember correctly. But let's see. I saw the whole series. I just always forget the name of this show. Girl in the Woods. That was right. So Girl in the Woods, basically, there is like this group of people that train their children generationally to guard this door that keeps demons from entering the real world. And one girl like gets chosen. She's like the daughter of the head of their community or whatever. And she goes to the door, and long story short, something happens to her. She gets in her feelings and she leaves and goes into the real world. And then she meets this girl and this guy. And like a lot of stuff happens. The demons end up getting through the door because there's no one guarding it. And it's a bunch of crap. And the end of that season is really messed up. And it left us on a huge cliffhanger. And I'm really hoping we get a season 2. They keep teasing that we're going to get a season 2, but they haven't said. And the actress who plays Jessica Jones in Defenders on Netflix, or I guess now on Disney, is the director of this show. So it is really good. So if you haven't had a chance to look at Girl in the Woods, I think it's like 8 episodes, maybe longer than that. Let me see. It came out in 2021, so October 2021 is 8 episodes. So yeah. Yeah, so 8 episodes. And it keeps saying that they are approved for season 2. I just have no idea. With COVID and everything, I don't know what their shooting schedules are like and what they had to push and all that, but it's pretty flippin' good. So, and they have like a lot of they have a lot of ties into different horror genres too. So like some of the creatures are like, it's obvious they took from other, horror and mythology type, creatures to bring in for her to fight. But like, even like, there's some creatures in there are just so I don't know, they're just so messed up. It's like they're, like, unnerving. So, like, I really like that show. So if you haven't checked out Girl in the Woods, again, on Peacock, you might be able to do a trial and just do it. You can probably find clips of it on YouTube, of course. I'm more than likely there is. Um, let's see. Jessica Jones is my favorite Defender. I wish she was a Slayer in Supernatural instead. I watched that. I still wanted the Faith this Slayer show. Faith was cool. I know that they're redoing the Slayer, like a new version of Slayer in the Buffy universe, but it's on hiatus. I don't know what's going on with that. I did read that that one was put on hiatus. Not indefinitely, but they don't really have a, I guess, production resume date. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know if maybe the director got in trouble. I'm not really sure. But that is something that for me, I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm on the fence. I love the universe, but like, I mean, I guess you could expand it because we had Faith and we had Kenya. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't want them to do the same old thing. I know it's a completely new Slayer. I just don't want her to go through the exact same stuff Buffy went through in high school. I mean, I think it should be like really fresh, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing. Are you guys watching The Imperfects on Netflix? I saw the trailer for it. I have not checked it out. The trailer looks kind of cool, but I don't know. I know when they were rating it, it got 6 out of 10 stars, but again, if you guys know me already, I don't go by that. I don't go by what Rotten Tomatoes say. I go by what I like. So I'm just curious if you guys have checked out The Imperfects, what did you think about that? Because it looks like it could be a fun show. Um, I know there was another thing about one of the characters, I think the male character being gay and being flamboyantly stereotypically gay. And I really need to figure out what that is and what that means. So I'm gonna check that out. Um, but yeah, I'm really curious to see. And then I kind of get antsy because I always watch these shows and then they cancel them. So it's like you get into these superhero shows and you think you're getting another season, and it's like, psych. So I don't know if I trust Netflix to let me have this or not, because every time I get into a show, it's gone. We don't get a new season. Amazon's been doing that lately too. Like I told you guys yesterday, Paper Girls being canceled is irritating to me. So I don't know. I don't know. But from what I can tell with the trailer, it looks pretty good. But there was something else that I saw. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna tell you some more stuff that you guys may already know, but may not. So Michael Rosenbaum has a podcast. I don't know if you guys knew that, where he interviews different celebrities from different shows, and they basically tell the truth. um, so two things. Number one, him and Tom Welling, they started one that's basically specifically for Smallville, where they watch an episode and they talk about what happened while they were making it. It's very, very interesting. I'll have to try and find the link and drop it below, but it's very cool if you guys want to check it out. Plus, his regular podcast is also on YouTube. So if you type in Michael Rosenbaum, you should be able to see it. And then there's another one that I saw, and I'll have to get it. It's a podcast. The only reason I'm bringing this up is so many people ask me this like I am the representative of the Flash. I do not know why. I know I've done Iris West videos, but people ask me questions like I know stuff, especially on Instagram. Oh shit. But Candace Patton has done an interview in this podcast where she basically talks about all of the racism she went through, how nobody supported her while she was making The Flash, how she almost quit in season 2, how she planned on this season being her last, and the only reason she really signed on again is because it's going to be canceled after next season. Like, it's interesting. It is interesting. I say that, Ray, you are the biggest supporter. I don't mind Iris West. I mean, it's not her fault the writing on that show sucks. If I'm going to punish her, I need to punish every character on every Arrowverse show. That's not fair. So, but yeah, Candace Patton does it. I'm gonna have to. It's on. If you go to the Instagram, she actually links it on her Instagram. That she was really nervous about releasing it, but like apparently they did this last year and it got released now. But she talks about how how she worked with an all white cast and they just kind of didn't really understand what she was going through because they weren't getting harassed, and how the network didn't do anything to help her. And even after BLM, when people started saying, "Oh, well, maybe we shouldn't do that," it really hasn't gone anywhere. She talks about hairdressers, that how they would hire hairdressers on the show, but they wouldn't know how to do black hair. And so she would be like having to go. They even mentioned that there was this guy from Jamaica in Vancouver where they were filming, who had like a little, think of it like a food truck, but a hair truck. And he was like basically doing a lot of the black actors and guest stars that were black's hair, on the slide, because they wouldn't go to production, because they said in Vancouver it's such a tight knit, circle that, they want to hire their own people. And she's like, they wouldn't, they're not hiring a lot of black hairstylists in Vancouver. And like you're getting a lot of insight to stuff behind the scenes at the CW, which kind of gives you merit to some of the things that some of the other actors were complaining about when they said they work for the CW on these Arrowverse shows. So I'm just putting it out, and not just Arrowverse, some of the other ones. I'm just putting it out there that, she did that interview, and it is on her Instagram. There's a link on the Instagram. It was on there yesterday. There should still be one on there. If I find it, I'll put it in the description. I'll edit it so you guys can see it or listen to it. But it's very informative. It is very informative. So, yeah, just putting that out there, guys. Trying to, one sec. Patton had Joe, Wally, Cecile, and Cisco. So they did not attack Joe because Joe is an original character. Wally is mixed like me. He's also Australian, and they didn't really, by the time he came around, she had already gone through it. I mean, we're talking, she started getting hate from the moment she was casted. When she was cast, they were sending her, like, she was getting horrible stuff, through emails. People were saying horrible comments. It was so bad. She said that the CW Flash Twitter didn't follow her. It followed every actor. And so she had to have her agent ask the people who controlled the Twitter to follow her account. And she's one of the leads. So, I mean, it's a lot. So, yeah, so Sil, came later. Wally came later. Joe, first of all, Joe's an established actor, not only in theater, but, he came from, what was it? The show, that cop / it was a special crime unit or whatever, SVU or something like that. But he was a detective on that show for a long time. I forgot the name of it, but he's known in the industry. Plus, Joe West does not exist in the comics. So he didn't go through that. Iris West is a white character in the comics, has been since the 40s, the late 40s, early 50s. So, yeah, it was Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I'm pretty sure is what that was. Thanks, Ray. And yes, he was on Rent. He's very well known in theater. Plus, he was in the movie for Rent too. But yeah, she was cast as a traditionally Golden Age white character, and she got crucified, and nobody helped her. No one helped her. So yeah, that is interesting. So it made me wonder when Grant Gustin made that, like when BLM came up, and after everything went down with a certain other character that got fired, we all know we're talking about Harley, on The Flash. Grant Gustin had put out this very long, like, Instagram letter talking about our Iris West is black and beautiful, and then he basically doing all this stuff talking about telling people that they were wrong for thinking this way. And it had me wonder why none of them did that from the beginning. Why did you wait till like BLM happened to put these letters out? And this is just me asking questions. I'm not trying to throw shade on anyone. I'm just wondering why that wasn't something that was pointed out in the beginning. So just saying, just put it out there. It is a thing. It is a thing. Let's see here. Some of these stories that I'm looking at are involved around Star Trek, which is something else I'm not really wanting to get into. I know that the Wrath of Khan, they're saying, is getting a Star Trek prequel podcast. So more likely all radio drama style. We'll see, which is fine. And anybody is into Picard, you saw already, especially during Comic-Con, that they're bringing mostly all of the TNG crew back for season 3 of Picard, because it's going to be the last season of Picard. So fits. I'm cool with that. Let's see. I don't care about this. We're not talking about this. We're not talking about the Rings of Power. I'm not getting down. I'm not falling down the Lord of the Rings rabbit hole today. Let's see. Yes, I did mention this about Shakira Barrera being added to Ironheart. They're definitely still adding more characters. I'm still trying to figure out this whole Hood connection. The hood was not an Ironheart connection, so I'm very confused about that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Um, what is that? River can be Zuko. I really want Maria to cosplay Korra. I don't want to be Korra. I want to be a Sami. I want to cosplay as a Sami, even though I know I have Naga in here, but it's my Naga. I don't want to be Korra. If I was animated and her age, I would bang Korra. There's a difference. There's absolute difference. But I think River being Zuko would be funny though. Personality wise, I feel like River is actually a cross between Zuko and Bolin. But well, yeah, Zuko a little bit of Mako quietness, but Bolin's humor. That would be River. Right, was it the original? I could have swore he was in Special Victims Unit. I don't know why I thought he was. Okay, that's fine. I believe you. There's so many of them. It's not like my love for NCIS Hawaii, because I really love that damn show. It's really ridiculous. I really love Agent Tara and Whistler because they have a lesbian storyline, and I'm here for it, and it is cool. And it comes back on, I think it's the 16th. It could be the 18th or the 19th, but I know it comes back somewhere between the 16th and the 19th. I'll have to go back and look. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, like we have some slow news right now. That sucks. It's just slow. I mean, I know there's other stuff out there. There are other movies we could talk about, but because I mean, if we're not talking comic book stuff, we could be talking about the new Scream movie, which I'm sure everybody's thrilled about. I've been hearing so much stuff. People are like, why are they doing another damn Scream movie? And I'm like, because they make money. Same reason they keep making Halloween movies and saying the final, the last. No, it's not. It's not. It's really not. But yeah, people are very, very interested in Scream. I don't know why. It's like, how many times can people they even make fun of themselves in these movies, like, all the ways you can die in these movies, and then like people have like a little bit more of a okay, to be fair, the last movie they did kill off a character that was a legend character, but I mean, they love it. They just effing love it. Now I don't know if the new Scream movie is going to have anything to do with what happened, because it seems like they kind of passed the torch to a new group and a new Sydney, or if they're just going to have Sydney back, because I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it. It's just that people they love these movies so much that they keep pulling them out of their butt, just like they used to do with Friday the 13th. They when Jason went to space, I was done. Like Jason X, really, when that robot was not able to take out Jason, I was completely in my feelings about that, because there's no universe where a robot that strong shouldn't have been able to just rip his head straight off his body. So they were doing entirely too much. But to be fair, they never really explained the true lore behind Jason or Mike Myers, how they're able to die, does not stay dead when they were not possessed by demons or anything. It's just their sheer like enjoyment of killing. It just seems to be what makes them immortal. Well, Jason Voorhees was drowned, so his is more of a revenge thing, and his mother was the killer in the first one. So, yeah, it's a thing. It is a thing. But yeah, they're making another damn movie. Like, and like people are like, again, I know. What can you do about it though? So it's Scream 6 is what's coming out. Scream 6. It's untitled. And it's interesting as a lot of people are showing that Hayden Panettiere is coming back from Heroes, but her character was killed off, I thought, in the third one or in the fourth one. So I don't know how she's coming back, but that's a whole other thing. Whole other thing. I just don't even. I don't know. I don't know. But they've actually wrapped it already. They said it wrapped last month, so it's filmed. So yeah, I'm looking at the cast now. And like I said, it's weird that some characters that are coming back should not be in it. So, But yeah, Jenna Ortega is Tara Carpenter and Melissa Barrera is Sam Carpenter. I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't seen the last movie. It does reveal who Sam is or who her parents are, and so it was a big deal. But I don't know. Yeah, Hayden is Kirby Reed. I don't know how Kirby is. Well, was that her character in the fourth one? I'll have to go back and look because I know her character was killed. So I don't know how she's back. But you know what? They're all in these horror movies, they're just baby kids. They don't die, they multiply. So it's just what it is. But that is a good, I guess it'll be a very good, depending on when it's released, will be a good Halloween movie for next year. Because we do have a new Halloween movie coming out this year in the trilogy. Um, which I'm not hating on it. I'm not. I enjoy watching scary movies, so I'm here for it. It is what it is. Let's see here. Da, da, da. So I don't have any information on the like new information on the Spider-Man series. It's based off our current Spider-Man. I don't have any information on the X-Men series, even though they've announced a little bit of stuff. I'm still like, it's not enough to really talk about until we actually get more information. So like that's not anything to talk about at all. So yeah, I'm just kind of skimming the news and seeing what I see, guys. I'm gonna start talking about the real world, like the real world, because I live in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's dangerous as hell. We can talk about that all day, all day. Don't go running in the morning by yourself. Be careful when nuts go live stream themselves shooting people randomly around our city. Which, if you were in my stream yesterday, was literally right when I say it was a block away from me, it is literally not even a 5-minute walk where this guy was shooting people just so he could live stream it because he's crazy. And crazy stuff like that happens here all the time. Absolutely insane. Claire more powerful than non-modified Wolverine? Yes. Yes. Everyone's more powerful than well, if we're talking about Logan, yes. If we're talking about non-modified Wolverine, maybe not. Jason has a healing factor? Huh. But why? He was a real kid. I don't understand. I don't understand how he became a whole grown-ass man when he was drowned as a 10-year-old. I never understood that. The android voices Jason was my favorite Jason moment. That android should have killed Jason. Sydney needs a break. The girl has been gutted. I don't even know how she still has organs. Like she should have transplants at this point. That's really mean. Let's see. If you mean that 19-year-old I've seen the news as someone who lives close to Memphis. Yep. So I live in Midtown in Memphis, so I'm like I'm 5 minutes from downtown and I'm 1 minute from Overton Square. So I'm in between downtown and Overton Square. And he drove up my street and then went to Overton Square and was shooting people. And he just kept going. And then he was caught in another area, Whitehaven, East Memphis. So he did like a loop. He shot a woman on the highway. It's just that whoever he came across, he just shot it and he killed 3 or 4 people. And this is literally days after they discovered Eliza Fletcher's body, her being, pulled off the street while she was out jogging in the morning into a black SUV and murdered, basically. And it's just not a good time. But I mean, I have a neighborhood app and every day I'm seeing stuff, people getting attacked. A woman got attacked going to the mailbox. A man was attacked walking his dog by some man sitting at a bus stop. I mean, it is so dangerous here that we don't like going out. And that's just the truth. And you just pray when you have to go out that your car doesn't break down because you don't know what nut's going to come across you because it's just really that bad here. So I know we're moving next year out of Memphis and out of Tennessee because I honestly can't handle it anymore. It's just a thing. I came to this city when I was 11 and I moved to Texas when I was 28 and I came back when my mother got sick. And she passed. I was her caretaker till she passed from cancer. And then my spouse, right after my mother passed away, was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And so then I was caretaker for another 36 months until my spouse passed away. And then my dad ended up getting renal failure. He had stage 4 renal failure. And then he had COPD really, really badly and phlebitis. And he also had diabetes. He lost his eyesight and was immobile. And me and my dad do not have a good relationship, but I was taking care of him and my brother who has special needs. And then something happened, which I can't talk about right now because we're still dealing with it in court. But he let a woman into his life that caused a lot of crap and is still causing me issues right now. So dealing with that was fun. And then my dad ended up passing away from small cell lung cancer. So like it's just been bam, 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 bam. As I got stuck here. I got stuck in Memphis basically. When I left, right before I left, I was just starting out at Funimation and anime and voice acting. So like I was with them from 2005 to 2008 when my mother got diagnosed. And I had to leave my career for like 12 years, almost 14 years, sorry, to be caretakers for people. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but I'm just saying that it just whole chunk of my life kind of went away. So I'm having to get back into everything, and it's been a lot. It's been very overwhelming, let's put it that way. This past 2 years have been very overwhelming. So that's why I've been kind of like flighty on my YouTube channel because I'm trying to do everything at one time and it's impossible. And yeah, it's been a thing, but this recent bout of like break-ins, I mean, my neighbor's car, they just smashed her windows in and she was parked 3 cars down from ours. She didn't have anything in her car. That could have been our car. And I mean, they just walked in through the gate. They jumped the gate and smashed her car, smashed the windows in her car. And I'm just really effing sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of, there's another report of a woman and her 1-year-old. They went to Target and she was putting stuff in the car. This was in the middle of the afternoon. 2 men who were in Target, I guess they were scoping people. They came up to her, pulled a gun on her and her child, threw her and her child in their car, drove her to her bank, which is a Regions bank, had her withdraw all the money in her account, and then drove her back to Target and dropped her back off with her child, which is a good outcome. But that is how effing crazy they are here. So I cannot. Yeah, I'm kind of dumb. We have options while River works at the job that we currently have. It will most likely be Dallas or Austin for a little while in Texas. Since I lived there before, a lot of my voice acting studios are there, but then I don't know where we're going after that because I'm a dual national, so I can move anywhere that has US and UK citizenship. And then River is a dual with Korea, not dual, but has residency in South Korea, which I don't think I want to move to because they don't recognize our marriage. And then, of course, in the States. And River's from Minnesota, from St. Paul, actually, Minneapolis. So there's lots of options, I guess. I'm not happy with mostly anything that's happening in the States right now, but I need to get out of Memphis, Tennessee, very quickly. I do. And the politics in Texas are no better, but I mean, at least it's a larger area, more jobs, more people, less likely to come across a nut as quickly as I would here. So, because they're crazy here. I've had a gun pulled on me here before. It's just too small. This place is really too small. So yeah, not happy with it. Unfortunately, you're going to get a lot of 901 lovers who love it here, been here for generations, and they will get in their feelings when you tell them how bad the crime is here. But I mean, there's a reason that Memphis, Tennessee, as small as we are always in the top 5 for crime every year. It's because they're crazy and we're understaffed. Our Memphis Police Department, they can't keep police officers because we don't have funding. So a lot of them are leaving and going to other states and bigger cities to make money. And they announced that they cut a lot of their pensions too. So why would you be a cop and risk your life in one of the most dangerous cities in the country for less of what another cop would be making? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it's bad. It is bad out here, guys. So I'm just in my feelings, wanting to get out, but it is what it is. But yeah, I've been looking. I think I'm all tapped out on news. I have nothing else to talk about, guys. Weird, huh? I know. I do know that we have another episode of Stargirl, so I need to set up a stream. I'm either going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it the night it comes out because I know I'm probably going to have to do something else. So I'm going to try and get those up. I'm going to try and do the Stargirl videos the day after they air. Fingers crossed. I'm going to try and do that to get it set up. Just like I do Ruby on Saturdays. I'm going to try and do that so it's at least more consistent. I will try and do She-Hulk. Probably I'm going to try and do those the day they air, probably the afternoon they air, if I can watch them early enough. Knock on wood, because the problem is me and River watch everything together, and so when River's schedule is different from mine, I have to wait till the evening, so that's normally why I get thrown off. But we'll see. We will see. I know I have to do some more videos with both Kenny and Joe, and I also have another person that's going to be collaborating with me. He's one of my voice actors who has a Twitch channel, which I'll announce that later on. So we'll be doing some videos. He's a big comic book nerd too, so that should be fun. Something to look forward to. And I do really need to get my Orville video out for you guys. I do. It's pretty much edited. I just have to render it. I spent some time doing it, and then I got a voice audition, and then that took like hours. So like hours of my life went into that. So it's what normally happens. I get thrown off by other tasks. So, but I'm going to get that video done today, and it's going to be posted today. Somehow, some way. It's coming out tonight. So be on the lookout for that, because that is the interview where I talked to Claire and Isaac, are the actors for Claire and Isaac. So they are very funny. And what their wish for their characters are is actually very interesting. So I can't wait for you to see it. It's not a long interview, but I think you guys will really enjoy it. So be on the lookout for that, especially if you're an Orville fan, because it is coming today. All right. Raised your last question, Stargirl. Why is ISA kids so much better at missions? Because the JSA characters, all they do is bitch and fight with each other. That's why. So there you go. There's no organization. They're supposed to be a team, but they battle each other on a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, they'll get it together, or they won't. Who knows? But it is what it is. All right, guys. I'm leaving. But again, look out for some more streams that are coming out and some more videos that are coming up. I promise that Orville will be out today. Knock on wood, I'm going to get it to happen today. But in the interim, guys, if it is day for you, have a very good day. If it is night for you, have a very good night. And I will see you in the next video and stream. Bye, guys.